Hello, health champions. Welcome to Wellness Wisdom. Let's talk about the 7 healthiest foods you can eat. Now the question is, what makes a food healthy? To figure that out, we must also look at what foods make us sick, and at all the things that can make us sick. As you might know already, insulin is at the top of the list. So any foods that raise insulin because your blood sugars are now raised would not only inhibit your health but also make you ill. Foods that deplete nutrients will make you ill as well. So we want nutrient-dense foods. We want foods that enhance nutrient absorption, which means low carb is one of the factors. The 2 foods that don't trigger insulin and don't create an insulin response are fiber and fat. As far as protein goes, the leaner the protein, the higher the insulin response. In other words, on the insulin index, whey protein and very low-fat lean protein really create an insulin spike compared to fattier protein. So we want a higher fat to lower protein ratio in foods if possible. We also want vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, and essential fatty acids like omega-3s. In addition, phytonutrients provide extra health benefits beyond just regular vitamins and minerals. The first food on our list is sauerkraut. 1 cup of sauerkraut has only 6 grams of carbs with 4.1 grams of fiber, giving you a net carb of 1.9 grams, just under 2 grams per cup. That definitely fits the definition of low carb, high fiber, and high nutrient. Sauerkraut has the highest vitamin C content of any food, over 700 milligrams per cup, whereas daily requirements are around 75 milligrams. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production, building bones, protecting the heart from free radicals, and supporting your skin and connective tissues. Sauerkraut is a great prebiotic and probiotic. It feeds your microbes and contains friendly bacteria that survive stomach acid to reach the large intestine. The cabbage used to make sauerkraut is a cruciferous vegetable, which is among the most powerful in terms of phytonutrients. It's also easy to digest, especially compared to other vegetables like broccoli, and it supports bowel movements, brain function, and digestive health. Sauerkraut is high in lactic acid, which supports good bacteria and inhibits bad ones. It's also rich in vitamin K2, which helps keep calcium in the bones and out of the joints and arteries. Lastly, sauerkraut contains vitamin U, which has beneficial effects on gut issues like colitis, ulcers, gastritis, acid reflux, and general gut inflammation. The second food is arugula. I always recommend eating salads daily, and if you're going to eat salad, use a green that has a high nutrient profile. Arugula is a cruciferous vegetable rich in phytonutrients and particularly good for liver function. I choose arugula over spinach because spinach is high in oxalates, which can bind with calcium and form kidney stones. Arugula is low in oxalates and has a flavorful, peppery, slightly spicy taste. You can enjoy it with just some olive oil and sea salt. It's anti-inflammatory, high in nitric oxide, which supports libido, cardiovascular health, and endothelial function, and rich in calcium, potassium, folate, magnesium, vitamin C, and K1. Arugula also has strong anti-cancer properties. Next is salmon. I recommend wild-caught salmon, especially the fattier types with the skin left on for extra nutrition. While some worry about mercury, salmon contains far less mercury than other fish and is high in selenium, which binds to mercury and reduces its absorption. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which benefit the brain, heart, joints, and reduce systemic inflammation. Most people consume too much omega-6 and too little omega-3, leading to imbalance and inflammation. Salmon helps correct this. Although the fat-to-protein ratio in salmon is about 1:2, which is lower than ideal, the health benefits justify its inclusion. You can enhance it with added fats. Compared to cod, salmon has significantly more omega-3 SE, over 2,000 milligrams per 3 ounces, versus just 171 milligrams in cod. It's also high in potassium, zinc, and calcium. Next is cod liver. Don't dismiss it before you try it. Organ meats are incredibly nutrient-dense, but many people avoid them due to taste or difficulty finding high-quality sources. Wild-caught cod liver is easy to find, tastes good, and has a pudding-like texture. If you eat it within a couple of days, it won't taste fishy. I find cod liver delicious and more palatable than beef liver. It's very high in omega-3s and comes packed in its own oil. I usually eat half a can at a time, and if you're on OMAD, you can split it between meals or days. Cod liver differs from regular fish oil in that it contains not just omega-3, EPA, and DHA, but also active forms of vitamins A, retinol, and D. Retinol is essential for vision, immune function, skin, respiratory tract, and kidney health. Vitamin D supports blood pressure, pain relief, mood, and immune function. Few foods are high in vitamin D, so cod liver is especially valuable. It also contains vitamin K2, iodine, and a wide spectrum of B vitamins. The fat-to-protein ratio is 5:1, making it excellent for ketosis and insulin management. If you can't tolerate cod liver, at least consider cod liver oil, which is especially beneficial for children and pregnant women. It's not typically available in grocery stores, but you can find it online. Next on the list is hamburger. Now, before you object, I'm not talking about a fast food burger with a bun. I mean grass-fed, organic, ground beef, preferably not too lean. Hamburger is practical, easy to prepare, easy to digest, and nutrient-rich. Contrary to popular belief, high-quality red meat is not unhealthy or cancer-causing. There's a big difference between processed meat and clean grass-fed beef. Hamburger is often better tolerated than steak because of its higher fat content, which aids digestion by allowing more time for digestive enzymes and bile to break down the protein. Steak is leaner and passes through faster, especially in older individuals with lower stomach acid. Hamburger has a 2:1 fat-to-protein ratio, which supports digestion and better nutrient absorption. The type of iron you would get in red meat as well as hamburger is much higher. Hamburger is also rich in B12, phosphorus, and zinc. It's an excellent source of selenium, B6, B2, B3, and B5. It's also high in something called carnosine. In fact, beef is one of the highest sources of carnosine. Carnosine reduces something called glycation. Glycation occurs naturally in our bodies and promotes aging. It happens when a sugar attaches to a protein or a fat, binding it up and making it unavailable. This clogs up the body. If you're consuming carbs with sugar or carbs with fat, you're going to have a lot of glycation. Carnosine inhibits glycation, decreases inflammation, and also helps your immune system. Hamburger also has a lot of creatine, which improves exercise performance, endurance, and can promote muscle growth and muscle mass. There are other meats that are higher in fat like duck, lamb, and even pork, but I picked hamburger because it's practical, easy to get, tastes good, and has a lot of health benefits. Next, I wanted to pick foods in different categories. And since a lot of people consume nuts, I wanted to talk about the healthiest nut of all, the pecan, and explain why. Out of all the nuts, pecans have the lowest net carbs. I love to take a handful of pecans right after a meal. It gives me a good amount of fat and is very satisfying. The carbs in pecans per cup are about 14 grams, and they contain around 10 grams of fiber, resulting in a net carb count of only 4 grams per cup. Remember, if you're on keto, you're allowed up to 50 grams of carbs, so 4 grams is insignificant. The fat content in pecans is pretty high, about 71 grams, while some other nuts like macadamia nuts and pistachios also have high fat. Pecans stand out due to their low net carbs and favorable fat-to-protein ratio of about 7:1. This makes them very low on the insulin index. Pecans are very rich in zinc and copper, which always balance each other out. A food that has both is a great choice. Pecans are also loaded with vitamin B1, which is excellent if you're dealing with stress. Pecans are very low in oxalates, which is good because oxalates can bind with calcium to form kidney stones. They're also great for the heart, blood sugar regulation, and contain the highest levels of antioxidants among nuts. These antioxidants can reduce complications from chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and inflammatory conditions. Pecans are also easier to digest than walnuts, peanuts, Brazil nuts, and even macadamia nuts. I like pecans for their taste too. You can add them to different keto dessert recipes. Finally, there's extra virgin olive oil. You want to make sure you're using the real stuff. There are many fake varieties on the market, often blended with other oils. The real extra virgin olive oil has a distinct bite, a fresh, grassy aroma, and a slight irritation in the back of the throat. These are good signs. I use it daily, especially on salads. So what makes extra virgin olive oil healthy? It contains vitamins like E and A, and minerals such as magnesium and potassium. Since it's a fat, it has zero effect on insulin, which is great. But more importantly, it contains powerful phytonutrients that can extend lifespan and support telomere health. Shorter telomeres are associated with shorter lifespans. Olive oil supports and repairs mitochondria. Since cancer is a disease of the mitochondria, anything that helps protect and repair mitochondria can offer anti-cancer benefits. Olive oil also acts as an anti-inflammatory and pain reliever. comparable to the effects of ibuprofen. Some compounds in it can reduce beta-amyloid, the substance that forms plaques in the brain in Alzheimer's disease. That makes it great for brain health, memory, focus, and concentration. It also has anti-clotting, antimicrobial, and retina protective effects, which are especially useful for people with diabetes, high blood sugar, or high insulin levels. Some phytonutrients in olive oil are 20 times more powerful than those in green tea, so don't use it sparingly. Pour it generously on your salad. The fat in the olive oil helps your body extract more of the phytonutrients in the vegetables. There you have it, the 7 healthiest foods. Now that you know what to eat, it's also important to understand what to avoid. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more simple health tips that make a big difference. Thanks for reading, and stay healthy.